One of the really important things to understand about anxiety is that it's a cycle of reinforcement, and as a trusted adult in the life of a child who is anxious, we can be instrumental in either reinforcing that cycle and increasing the anxiety, or helping to break it. Now, when there is a thing, a person, a place that makes us anxious, it's really important that we don't completely avoid that thing, that person, that place. What happens when we do that is that we were worried about doing that thing. Maybe it's a child who struggles to attend school. They're very anxious about coming to school. If that child doesn't come to school on a given day, it's Tuesday morning, it's too hard, they're too distressed, they're not coming in. That child doesn't come to school. What their brain says is, phew, that was a lucky escape. If you'd have gone to school, it would have been awful because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If, on the other hand, the child does come to school, they might be distressed, it might be difficult, it might not be the easiest day ever, but it contradicts what their brain thought was going to happen. They did come, they did survive, it was okay, and maybe they had some positive bits as well. So it contradicts, and the brain doesn't get to do that phew. Because when the brain gets to go phew, then next time we're faced with this again, so now it's Wednesday morning, and the child goes, well, I can't possibly go to school, because if I do, then the awful things will happen. And we haven't learnt from yesterday because we didn't go to school. What we learnt yesterday was, oh, that was a lucky escape. And so today we think, oh, I really can't go. And each day that we go, and the brain goes, whew, that was a lucky escape. We're building and reinforcing that cycle. So that avoidance, that support that we might inadvertently give to a child by helping them to avoid the thing that makes them anxious, can make them more and more fearful and anxious of that thing. We often do this in little ways without realising it. So what we can do to help the child to break the cycle, rather than reinforcing it, is instead of doing what feels like the kind thing, and helping them to avoid the person, the place, the thing, the situation that makes them feel anxious, instead scaffold how they access that person, that place, that thing, and try to enable them to have a positive experience with the thing that fears them, or at least a neutral experience, not a negative experience, or that of course will reinforce the cycle. So you might have a child who is really fearful about speaking up in class. They get very, very anxious about participating in class discussion, and that might be because they're worried that everyone will laugh at them, or they'll make a fool of themselves, or there'll be all sorts of different things going on in their head here. So what we want to do here is to think about, well, how can we enable this child to have a positive, or at least a neutral, experience of speaking up in class? So we might think with them ahead of the lesson and say, right, well, this is the sorts of things we're going to be talking about. Let's have a think together about some of the ideas here. And then maybe, do you think that you could share, perhaps in a small group, one of your ideas here? Would you feel comfortable doing that? And we've scaffolded it. We've thought with them ahead about the situation. We planned for it, and we've perhaps help them think about what answer they might give. And then perhaps they do feel able to actually put their hand up within that group and to say the thing that they've rehearsed saying. That experience of not making a fool of themselves, of not having their friends laugh at them, hopefully, will help to break that cycle. So the key thing here is just to recognise the part that we play in either reinforcing or breaking that cycle of anxiety. So just recognising the patterns that we're seeing in a child, recognising the things that fill them with fear, and understanding, are we helping them to tackle that fear? Are we scaffolding our support so that they can have positive experiences of going there? Or are we actually building that cycle of anxiety by helping them avoid it and giving their brain that chance to go, whew, lucky escape? If you found this video helpful, you might be interested to learn more about YouCan. YouCan is our new, ever-growing, on-demand video CPD service for schools. Each course is made up of a series of modules just like the one you've just watched. Each module is designed to be highly practical with ideas that you can use right away. We're growing our library of courses every week to meet the demands of our subscribers. There's a huge wealth of training that you and your colleagues will be able to access if your school subscribes. Our short, practical videos make it easy and enjoyable to learn, so you can do anything you set your mind to.